Hello, it's me, and I figured since I'd recently unboxed this, actually I just unboxed this, why not just go ahead and scramble this and see about the actual solve. So for the first time, we'll do a scramble and solve of this alpha cube. Now the superficial similarities that this has to the axis cube is just that, superficial. It's interesting how these little triangle things, or these big triangle things, look the same. They look like they might be, I don't know, the same type of movement. But they're really not the same at all. And the clue here is the fact that these triangles are all facing each other. So they're very different puzzles, this turning this way. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 layers here. So let's take a look at the scramble and let's take a look at how we might end up solving this. Now what I notice is that when I turn it this way, I can't really make another turn here. I've got to complete a 180-degree turn in order to continue with that. So I appear to have sides that can only scramble with one other side. I appear to only be able to make 180-degree turns. Let's say I turn it like so. You can see this is here. Now the question is this a purely unique puzzle, or is this a mod of another puzzle, or a variation of another puzzle? Because that might be a clue regarding how to solve this. But I know that if I do a 180-degree turn like this, I can continue turning. But what I can't do is make 90-degree turn like this and continue the process. Well, can I? Nope. That doesn't seem to want to do it. So I'm going to continue to scramble this, and maybe it'll be a clue as to how to approach this puzzle. Because once you figure out what this is a derivation of, then the algorithms are probably either going to be the same or very similar, and then it's a matter of just adapting your perspective, which is really fun for these kinds of modifications. If this is a mod, it might not be. It might be completely unique. But everything is a derivation of something. But as you can see, you only have two sets of layers that are scrambling with each other. These two are scrambling with each other, and these two are scrambling with each other. But this certainly doesn't scramble with this because it can't make the proper 90-degree turns. Now you can see that a scrambled alpha cube is very different from a scrambled axis cube. So this is a very different kind of a puzzle. It had, I guess, convergent evolution as to why this one would even look like it. 1, 2, 3 layers that can turn 90 degrees. So a classic 3x3 mod. So that is not what this is. This is not a 3x3 mod. Is it a cuboid mod? Well, let's see. What I notice is that we seem to be in pairs of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 corner pieces here, 6 slices. Same thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm scrambling 6 pieces with each other. So what other puzzle can you think of that does that? What other puzzle can only move in 180-degree increments and have these 6 slices that scramble with each other? Well, aside from cuboids, what other puzzles display this kind of characteristics? Cuboids do it. Specific types of cuboids, dominoes I should say, so dominoes can do it. Is this like a 3x3x4 kind of thing? Well, the other thing that can also do this are, well, square ones. So maybe what I'm looking at is a type of a square one, and perhaps it is, because the movement seems to be very similar. But I seem to think square one algorithms might not work so much with this because they might be edge pieces. So anyway, what do you think? Nice and scrambled. If I wanted to make it look really confusing, I could go like splat. So there it is, scrambled. So what am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of use a semi-cuboid strategy by putting in one side by placement, and then I have to deal with the other side without destroying the side below that. That's that last side dilemma that you get with any puzzle. So let's see how we can do this. Maybe do a little bit more scrambling here. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cuboid / square one style. Well, let's start putting pieces in here. So here's yellow, red, green. Here's a green piece over here. Take the green piece, put it here. Bang, we're in. Now I can put a third piece here or here. It can be another green slice, or this could be just a yellow. Here's a yellow here, kersplat. Okay, off to a good start, in, and in. So now what? Well, I gotta be careful, because if I try to place the other green piece, like this one, to here, then I've gone to the limit of what I can do by placement. So then we have to start being a little clever. So here's the other green piece over here. So in. This is in too. Now how am I gonna get this orange piece? I've gotta get this in. So I think what I'm going to have to do is assemble the next 3 on the bottom and then move it up to here. So only have 3 assembled here and then assemble the next 3 on the bottom. So how am I going to do that? Well, I've got to coordinate it with this piece over here. So I guess what I can do is take this, it's neat, looks like a star. This can come into this place over here. Bear in mind I have to keep these set, keep these 3. So I'm going to take this. Well, that's going to cause trouble. Okay, so I'm going to hold these constant. These 3 over here. So I'm going to be moving this guy here and coordinate it with placing it with this piece here. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I got to move him to the end. So I'm going to take this like so. Then I'm going to take this piece here that I moved down, move it to the end, make it an end piece, and I'll move it back up. Now, why did I do that? Well, I did that because this has to separate from these pieces here. This piece here has to come down to join with this lower piece here. It wasn't before, it was one piece away. If this isn't making complete sense, don't worry about it. This is not a tutorial. This is a demonstration of how to deal with a novel puzzle. So now when I put this here, it matches here. 1, 2, 3 pieces on the lower level, 3 pieces on the upper level. I just move it in, and kersplat. Whoop. No, not quite yet. I've got to move this to the side. I gotta move this over just by 1 like so. Okay, I kersplatted too fast. Never overdo a kersplat. And now, kersplat. Okay, so in. So we have this layer over here, and I just did that by positioning, kind of an intuitive sort of a thing. So, what do I do about here? Well, it's going to be hard to move these guys around without algorithms. So what algorithm can I use? What do you think? What algorithm can I use to move this top layer around without destroying the bottom layer? What variations can I use? What do you think? Let me have you think about that. And actually, I'm going to think about that for a few moments. Well, let's see. I have in my head some things that I use with a square one or use with cuboids. But there is another kind of a puzzle that I'm thinking of, that this is resembling more and more. And it does take specific kinds of algorithms. I'm not going to say what that puzzle is. I'm going to see if you guys can figure that out, because somewhere buried in my tutorials would be what this puzzle is a derivative of. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look and see if I can move some of these pieces together. Now, I suspect that if I do the right algorithm, I can take this piece and move it to here, right next to here, so that red is on red. And I'm just going to keep assembling pieces. I'm going to hold this like this, because if I do this algorithm right, this, and this will stay exactly the same. And this will cause a 3 cycling of these pieces. This will move here, this will move here, and this will move here. So at least I'll get the 2 reds together. So this is proof of concept. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a 2R, U, R, UI, then the bottom one goes to a DI, then 2R, DI, or rather D, that's just a D, and 2R. I'm now going to take this top and move it over by 1 U so that I can kind of get it back in the same configuration from the bottom and the top. Actually get the bottom back in the same configuration, and I just repeat that. 2R, U, 2R, UI, D, 2r di, or rather d 2r. Okay, so that had the intended effect. I brought this lower layer back, and I did move these two close to each other. So, well, so now what? These are close to each other as well. So now I know that this algorithm works. So when I hold it here, this stays the same, this stays the same, and this stays the same, and these guys cycle around. Well, let's see. If I do that, I can cycle this blue to get over here, but I have to do the algorithm 1, 2, 3 times. And if I do it 3 times, this will end up here and then here, and this will end up here and then here. So if I do this algorithm 3 more times, my prediction is that, well, let's think about this. Okay, knowing what this algorithm is doing, and what it did is this, and this stay the same, and these cycled. If I did that now, these will stay the same. This will come over to here, this will come up here, and this will come over to here. What that's going to mean is that these two will shift to here, and this white and red will come over to here to be next to this one. So if you can imagine, these will shift here, this will come here, and all of these 3 in a row. These 3 where I want it to be. So, proof of concept. By the end of this, all the white ones, this white will be in between these two. So same simple algorithm. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r. Now don't panic, I have to do it again. I got to do a u and then do it again. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r. Brings this back, and as predicted, these are in. So perfect, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now it's a question of 3 cycling these guys. And that should be straightforward, because if I hold it here, good, good, and good, this blue will come over to here next to this. This blue will sashay over here, and this red will come over to here where it's supposed to be. So this should do it. One more, and my middle layer should be done. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r, and don't panic, just do a u and finish it up. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r. Aha! And with a simple algorithm, we got the middle layer. So now the solve should be within my grasp, unless I get some kind of a parity, but we'll see. So what belongs on the top? Blue, reds, and whites. So let's coordinate things here. Here's a red, so well, here's 2 blue and whites, these guys. So let's move these up, and let's see if we can move it up right into this red and white over here. So this part is positioning. Whoop. Probably better if I did it like this. Move it in, so I got this slice over here. Bring this back, move it down. Now what I'm going to do is assemble the next 3 down here. Well, here's a blue, here's another blue here. Whoops. And we'll put this into place here. Move this down, so we've got this. Bump it out of the way, move it back. Okay, oh, I've got these already assembled, so I just simply move it down, double turn it in, move it back. I've got the top completely assembled. Now, let's quickly see if we can't go through those algorithms. I've got these 2 together. Let's do the algorithm, because now what's going to happen is this, well, hold it here. This, and this will stay the same. This will shift to here, this will shift to here, and this will slide over to here, thus putting these 3 together. So, let's see what we can do. Boy, this puzzle loves to move. Very smooth. There we go. So we've got 2R U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, DI, 2R, do a U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, UI, rather U, 2R. See, simple algorithms. That's all it's been taking to solve this. Alright, so now what? We've got these three here. Good, good, and good. This will move here, this will move here, and this will move here. And that should solve it. 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, D, 2R, move a U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, turn, and done. So there you have it. For the first time on YouTube history, there is a solve of a delta cube, a delta puzzle. Now, there's a potential parity that can happen with this puzzle that I kind of predict. Let me see if I can get into that parity. I'm not sure if I can, but let me see if I can. Abracadabra. Parity appear. Okay, so I did manage to make it happen, because I suspected if this puzzle was a derivation of the puzzle that I thought it was, it should happen, and it did. So here's a situation where I've got these two. These two need to swap. Now the algorithm that I generated, the one that I came up with, if held over here, kept this, this, and this the same, but these three cycled. This moved to here, this moved to here, and this moved to here. But if I do that, I'm never going to be able to get out of it, because I need to just flip-flop these two. So this takes a little flip-flop, an exchange, a swap, a 2-cycle, as opposed to a 3-cycle. Because if this goes here, that's not where it needs to be. This goes to here, that's not where it needs to be, and if this goes here, that's not where it needs to be. So no matter what I do, no matter how much I flip-flop this, even if I get this to here, it's still needing to be swapped. So how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to be able to flip-flop these two? Well, if you find the video that this puzzle is a derivation of, then that strategy is there. So I'm going to see if you know what I'm talking about. So either number one, figure out a way for me to get out of this situation, or number two, find the puzzle that this is a derivation of, and find the video that I describe how to do that, because my suspicion is it's the same technique. Actually, I know it's the same technique because that's the technique that I got into this. So see what you can find, little Easter egg hunt for you, and tell me what you think. Okay, so did you figure it out? What is this puzzle based on, and what tutorial did I do on that puzzle to help get out of this parity situation? Well, this puzzle is almost exactly the same thing and the exact same technique as this guy. This is the Super Square One barrel puzzle, and it has a lot of similar features. It does 180-degree turns. Now, once you've put these together, it comes in pairs of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, this is exactly the same kind of puzzle, and it's done exactly the same way. All those algorithms that you saw me do, I simply took from the algorithms that I came up with this puzzle over here. So as I knew that I would encounter this parity from time to time with this puzzle, I figured it would also happen with this puzzle as well, with the alpha cube. And it did. So the way to get out of this type of parity is I put it to where both areas that have to be swapped are on either side of the fault line, so to speak, which is this. And I do that same simple algorithm that I've done with this entire puzzle, but I do it 6 times. 6 times, and I keep orbiting around until it's done. So that'll be 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, D, 2R, do a U move, 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, D, 2R, do a U move, this is the 3rd time now, 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, D, 2R, U, so that's 4 times now, 2R, U, 2R, UI, DI, 2R, D, 2r, that's 5 times, and if my calculations are correct, one more should do it, because it was 6 times as I recall. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r. Nope, not quite, so let's do it once more. 2r u, 2r ui di, 2r d 2r, and that did it. So that got us out of it. So that is how to do the complete solve of the alpha cube. Now the delta cube is a smaller version of this, and to be absolutely honest with you, this is really more a shape mod of what would be called the Rubik's UFO cube. Rubik's UFO cube, this is really the same kind of a mechanism, but this is the master version of this. So I guess the delta cube would be just like a modification of the Rubik's UFO cube. This would be like the master Rubik's UFO. But it was really solved the same way. You can do a UFO cube, the column cube, and the delta cube, rather the alpha cube, in exactly the same way. So there you have it, the solution to this neat little puzzle. Keep those mods coming. Thanks, Ben, for the loads of fun. Thanks for watching.